A question that every man and woman, but every man sooner or later is going to ask himself, when is it the right time to get married? When is it the right time to bring children into the world? Okay. Now you're going to see people after high school will start having kids. You're going to start to see, people in your early 20s, mid 20s, 30s, 40s. Sometimes you're going to see people in their 50s and ask yourself, how come I'm not married? Okay. Now, if somebody asked me this question of when the right time is, this is what I would tell them. I believe that you get to a point in your life where it actually calls for you. It calls you. You feel it. It's in your intuition. There's something that just tells you it's time. You want to experience something more in life than what you're doing right now. Okay. I feel that as a man experiences all the things that he wants, whether it's experiencing having, many experiences with women, whether it's experiences of building a career, being able to date people, being able to travel. I think as soon as, and I wouldn't say as soon as you're done, but as soon as you've had enough, you start to ask yourself, what's next? What's the next chapter, right? A lot of the time as men, we build an empire. And then we ask ourselves, who am I going to pass that down to if I don't have children, right? I'll tell you this. When I was 19, I had my first child. All right. There is no way that I was prepared to have children. No way. Okay. And that is a long story. I would tell that story of why that happened. I actually didn't want to have children at that moment. The mother of my kids moved in because she was going through some situations at home. I took her away from that so she wouldn't be hurt or abused. And what's going to happen when you put two 18-year-olds in a room together, living together, right? And that's exactly what happened. But I digress. The reason I am saying that is when I was 19, I wasn't ready. Now, I am so thankful that I had my daughter, okay? Having my daughter at 19 made me grind and hustle so much more than everybody else around me, okay? Every job that I got, 3 months, 6 months, I was promoted. I would work, 60, 70 hours, just crazy overtime. Had no problem with it because I had a point to prove, right? I wanted to prove, hey, I'm going to take care of my family, all right? So I don't want to take away that if you do have a child at a very young age, just know that it's going to motivate you like nothing else. It's going to motivate you even more than being broke, more than a heartbreak, more than a loss. Like there is nothing like having children, like having a child that you got to provide for. There's nothing more powerful, I believe. So having a child at 19 was definitely not the right time though. Okay. And then I had my second one when I was 22 going on 23. All right. With the same woman. Again, I still wasn't ready. All right. It was a decision that we made. It's not a mistake because you know exactly what you're doing. And I love both of my children. I love my son and I love my daughter, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Okay. But I never felt like I was ready at that time. Okay. I also got married at 19. So I got married at 19. The reality is, if I'm being honest, I got married because I got that woman pregnant. I asked my mom for counsel, for advice, because I really respected and really loved my mom. So her answer was, well, you know what the right thing to do is. You already got this woman pregnant. She moved in here. At least give her marriage. Like, just out of respect, to not be embarrassed, like, at least give her that. And I stood by it, right? As a man, I was like, you know what? That's the right thing to do. We tried it for a couple years. It didn't work out. Okay. Because I wasn't ready to get married, and I knew I wasn't ready to get married, but my decisions put me in that situation, decisions that I chose to take. All right. So the reason I tell you this stuff is because you're going to make decisions that you're not necessarily ready for, but I feel like that's God's plan. That's part of your story. And a lot of those struggles that you have when you're 19 with kids and married prepares you for situations that people are potentially going to experience in their late 20s, 30s, or 40s. So you're essentially lapping people in lifetimes. You're living ahead of people. But it also takes a lot of your energy. It takes a lot of your youth. You put a lot of wear and tear on your mind, your spirit. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. And some of you know this. But going back to the topic of when is it the right time, I am now 34. I'm going to be 35 in a couple weeks. And I can't, man, I am more ready. I am more ready now than I've ever been. And financially, can I still do more? Absolutely. Can still continue to grow as a man? Absolutely. And I will always continue to grow, right? But there's this feeling that I have now of, I really want a family. Like, I really, really I feel like I'm living for that. Like, I see kids at the gym, at the daycare, and there's something in my spirit that just tells me, like, I want a family so bad. I think part of the fact was I didn't get to experience that with my children, right? Unfortunately, me and their mother, we don't have the best relationship, and my kids had to suffer because of that. And I wasn't able to be the best father, and I wasn't able to be the father that I wanted to be, period. Excuse me. So now for me, it's, I pass the hall at Target and I see the baby clothes, and I'm just like, I want that. I want to be able to build the crib. I want to be able to design the room and the crying at night and waking up and feeding this baby and holding this innocent creature that looks at you and protects you and loves you. And you get to share all these experiences with. Like, I want it now more than ever. And I feel like it's, in a weird way, is what I need to, like, almost take me to the next level. Like, I need a purpose and something, in a weird way, it's like something to live for. Like, my creatures that I can, like, coach and build up and be there for them, and and just be able to share all those experiences, I guess, that I missed out, because I didn't have that relationship with my two kids. But I feel that you will reach that age where you won't need to be rushed. You won't need to be convinced. I'm not in a relationship right now, and I still, like, I want children so bad. So it's not because somebody is forcing me, or it's something that it's like, oh, time's ticking. As a man, I mean, there's men that have kids at 60 years old, right? Like, so I could continue at any age, but I feel like I'm getting to that age now where, for me, it feels like the right time. All right. And I didn't start to feel this, I would say, probably when I was like 28 going into 30. It started to like trickle in of, like, okay, I'm getting to that age where I feel like I'm ready. Like, whether it's marriage, whether it's having children, obviously I would prefer to get married and then have children. But I mean, to me, I live by my own rules. I don't care. Like, as soon as I have a child with you, in my eyes, we're married. Like, you're my soul partner now. Like, biggest thing for me is, man, the next time I do this, I want to do it right. Like, I want to do it with the right person. We're going to be there. We're going to stick it out. We're going to work it out, and the best thing to do is start on the right track. So start with the right person, the person that has those mother qualities, the person that sees marriage as something that is a blessing, that's something that is important, something that's of God, a union, which is the first step, right? Before marriage or anything else. But I genuinely believe, to end the conversation and really to the topic, is you will feel, in my opinion, I think you will feel when the time is right. Don't rush it. Don't feel like you have to do it because everybody else is doing it. This is my advice for men. For women, I mean, biologically, everyone knows, like, it gets harder as you get older, right? And I mean, you women know that as well if you're watching it. The best thing I feel that a woman could do is start really early proving those wife characteristics and values, and the man is going to pick you, doesn't matter what age you are, because there's a lot of men out here looking for good women that they can marry, women that are still traditional women, that hold those traditional values that maybe are not for everyone. They're for me, at least. I do consider myself a very traditional. I like to be the provider, the protector, and I want to find a woman that's the nourisher, the protector of the family and the children, while I'm the protector of the household and everything else, right? I still believe in those values, but those are my values. Everybody else is different. But don't rush it. You'll know when the time is right. You'll feel it. Continue to build yourself, continue to build your empire, continue to build what is important to you, because the more you build and the faster you build the things that you value, I feel like it draws that energy of like, okay, now I want someone to be able to pass this legacy to. I feel like as a man, as you build, you want to pass that on to your kids, for generations, especially if you come from humble beginnings where you didn't have much. I think even more you want your kids to have the things that you didn't have, and you want them to enjoy life and enjoy certain things that maybe you weren't able to have. So don't rush it. You'll know when the time is right, and when the time is right, execute. Don't be scared. All right, life. We only have one life. You live it right, then you can, when it's time to go, you can actually rest, because hey, I lived life on my terms. I lived life with my values, and I did exactly what I wanted to do while I was here. So I hope this helped. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the right age? What should you have before you get married? What should you have before you have children? Let me know your thoughts in the comment. I'll reply. I'd really appreciate if you hit the like. I would really appreciate even more if you subscribe, because we can continue to grow this. And that's the goal. Other than that, I appreciate you spending this time with me. It's the night here, so I appreciate you spending this night with me. And I think it was a good conversation. All right, hope to help. Don't forget, you're a chosen one. Peace.